Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Diablo 3. My name is Wilfred, and in today's video I'd like to narrate through one of the gameplay of GR95. It is my second attempt because my first attempt I was playing a little bit safe and made some mistakes here and there, although it was deathless, but it didn't work out the way that I wanted. So first elite here is really a kind of a mess right here. I'm trying to stand on the buff kind of area, but then it was just too much damage that I couldn't quite get it. But it's as you can see, this build is pretty tanky. So long as I don't make a lot of stupid mistake like getting frozen and what, normally I could survive through it. Now this is GR95, so normally it's going to be a little bit more painful, suffice to say. But I've never tried anything more than 85 in any other season, so this is really my first season that I'm able to do just beyond anything beyond 85 is a bonus for me, set aside like 95 here. So still the very first pack, but I think because of the number of mobs that I have here, it does give me a little bit of edge, like progress here. And I think there are 2 packs, by the way, 2 elite packs. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. It get off a right start because with 2 packs right up front, you get a little bit more progress and a little bit more leeway, less scary. But but it is very much like working through the map, trying to just like finding elite pad to the elite pad, because that is what this wizard is pretty good at. This is a speed buff, so I can get past a lot of mobs trying to find where's the next pad to go. Now when I said to people that I managed to do like 95 or 90, 95, whatnot, I think some reaction would be, yeah, because you play a OP build, which is a fire build. Well, to be very honest, while Firebird is probably one of the better set items of Wizard, if you look at the leaderboard, I don't think you found anyone using my build at all, meaning that most of them use Star Pack Meteor rather than the Meteor Shower. For good reason, because it has a much better potential. It's just that I like the gameplay of this a lot. And also, if you look at the leaderboard again, most of them doing high rift are using the Halo of Karini rather than the Halo of Alice. So again, that is also another kind of like a play kind of build difference. And also, I'm not using the all the 6 set items. I use Akira Kuras as well, so that also make it a little bit different from the rest of the build out there. So what I'm trying to say is that, well, while I'm very happy that this this character is able to do a little bit higher rift than I normally could, but it is not just because it is a it is a Firebird set, henceforth I could do 95. So that's what I'm trying to say. Now continue here, still working my way through, still defeatless, trying to get a little bit further away from the mob, because all these electrified affixes is kind of bad if you stand near. So for my build, I'm actually quite good at close target, I mean the close quarter kind of combat, because of the buff that I have, because of my passive, but not quite good at a little bit further away. But sometimes you have to work with whatever constraint you have, and henceforth I think that's why it's a little bit fun here. Now there's a lot of bees here, so I'm trying to just keep walking instead of standing still, to just get the maximum amount of the the endless walk kind of buff for the damage reduction. And it's pretty scary because there's a lot of arcane thing going on, a lot of poison, and then there are a lot of bees as well. So there aren't really a lot of places you could maneuver. But it's kind of fun as well, a little bit poison, so I have to really get away fast. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, I'm playing a little bit careful here, trying to just get the maximum kind of potential for my gem upgrade. So yeah, it is just what it is. I enjoy playing a game whereby not just complete it, but complete it with a sense of accomplishment. When there's no defeat, I feel very good that I've done it. Maybe something not that relevant to a lot of you, whom sort of maybe play a little bit differently, but that's how I roll. This one is Wormhole Reflect Damage Frozen. I think there's one there. So just have to be really careful. I proc a lot of the Frozen Frost Nova because I'm taking damage as well. Fortunately, my health, my life on hit is pretty alright, so I could recover quite well. But there's quite a lot of poison, quite a lot of like bees, quite a lot of like frozen orbs that is going on, fireball that is everywhere. So it is not an encounter whereby I can stand still and maximize my amount of damage to it. So, but I mean, I look at my progress, nothing too alarming. I just need to work my way through patiently, and yep, that's it. And also I have to be mindful here. The moment I down an elite, I lose the 20 stat of Firebird. So naturally, suddenly I'll feel very, very fragile. So a little bit of anticipation as well. I see a screen full of mob and I was kind of happy about it, because normally if you manage to clear them, you would get a little bit progress as well. You can see a progress bar kind of moving along. So something I like to do. And the more mobs that get frozen, the higher the damage reduction is anyhow. So it works for me as well. A little bit of like a build, kind of like advantage. If you go for the Halo of Carini, I mean, you don't get the kind of like enjoy the kind of like a buff when things are being frozen. Then yeah, because you can't really freeze them that often if you use the Halo of Carini. But it's kind of nice, interesting. A lot of mobs, and I'm a little bit mindful about the progress bar as well. And unfortunately, I've hit the end. So I think some people actually don't quite like the map of Diablo, finding that sometimes there are a lot of like the end or long corridors. But I found that it gives you the variety that you probably need to have, because sometimes you do end up in a dead end. I mean, that it's just part of life that you pick something that path that may not be too advantage to you. But that's just life. In any game, there are scenarios whereby you can win when the luck is with you. Sometimes you don't. I always like to go back to Formula 1, the analogy there. Like if you look at this season, Mercedes versus Ferrari, there are some circuits that the Ferrari is better than the Mercedes, and there are some circuits that whereby the Mercedes are better. So sometimes the class, the build that you have doesn't mean that you can do all the maps as efficient as you want. There are just some scenario whereby you are not just as good in some scenario, and that make it kind of fun as well, to have that kind of uncertainty sometimes. Yeah, I mean, some maps are more difficult for this character. I think this map is alright. It's not really outrageously hard. It's a lot of nice mob density that work really good for my build, because the way that I can freeze target, and the any target that's frozen, I get like a damage increase against them as well. So all in all, very, very nice. Fire chain, have to be a little bit careful on the on where I stand. I can't really get too close with them, and you can see the Frost Nova just keep popping because I've been losing 10% of health all the time. So yeah, so that's it, done. Good progress so far on this Greater Rift 95. Second attempt. Good thing about recording all my encounter is that I've got to review what I've done, and I think looking back at my first attempt, it was just too many mistakes I've made. So sometimes, even though it is deathless, but the timing wasn't that good. I think I abandoned one of the elite pad as well because it seems too dangerous to me with a lot of like nasty affixes. But looking back, could have taken a little bit more risk, could have done a little bit better. But I think that is what this game is. Some part of it is due to luck, some part of it is due to gear, some part of it due to build, and there are part of it that is also skill. That you are aware of what your class can do, what your build can do, in what scenario you're better, in what scenario you're not. So that is why I'm still playing this game. It's kind of fun. Now it's going quite near to the end of the video. Here, just one more mob. I think I should be able to spawn the Guardian or not. Now, unlike the last video, this time around I didn't have a lot of shrines to help me through. And this one is very hard because of the number of fireballs that are around me, number of mortar that's upon me, and there's a lot of shadow power against me as well. You can see all the mortar as well. So all in all, it was a very, very hard encounter at this stage when there are just so many of them. But nicely, there was a war, so the war card helped me as well. Now, this boss is not really a hard, difficult boss to deal with for my build, because I'm pretty good against the melee, and I just need to freeze them at the right moment, and majority of the time when they hit me, they get frozen. So my build is very, very nice against this particular boss. Rather happy about it, and he will start to leap around, and that is usually where you have to avoid the boss a little bit. But I think suffice to say, it's not going to be anything hard from this point onwards. Just that's it. Done it in 10 minutes 25 seconds. Tier 95. Rather happy about it, and it's about upgrading dams as well. My dam is still very much at like 89-ish, so most likely I'll do a little bit of I'll go dial back the difficulties a little bit, maybe do a 90, just to have more consistency in completing the map, upgrading the dam. So the 89 dam can still go up to 95, I think. In a bit, and I've got another dam that is ready for augmentation, so I'm just going to grow that a little bit and augment that to one of the ancient I have, and see how far I can go. Maybe the next bit of the journey is really focusing on playing with my wife and get a little bit progress on the leaderboard not leaderboard, it's just my personal leaderboard for 2-player. So my wife and I usually pair up, and both of us are Firebird, both of us are Wizard Sam build, but he used she uses the Hello of Karini, and a little bit different from mine. We are aspire to go as high as we can. I think right now we got it as far as 88, so I'm pretty confident that we'll get to 90 plus with the two of us, and who knows, maybe towards the end of the season I'll attempt to go up a little bit towards 100. If I can get there, that's fine. If not, there's always the next season. So I'm looking forward to what the remaining month of season 14 will bring, and I hope you're enjoying Diablo 3 or whatever game that you play, and thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.